Here's another way to understand the ReAct framework: reason plus act, the detective analogy. The single idea to hold on to: a ReAct agent doesn't guess the answer. Like a detective working a case out in the field, it loops, think, act, observe, gathering real evidence until the case is solved. Here is that whole loop mapped to our detective, and watch him walk it. It all starts with the case, your goal. First, the detective stops to think, reasoning out the next logical step. Then he takes an action, using a tool to go and investigate. Then he makes an observation, reading whatever new clue comes back. Now the fork. If the case isn't solved yet, he loops straight back to thought with the new clue in hand, and goes around again. And only once there's enough evidence does he leave the loop and deliver the answer. Think, act, observe, around and around, until solved. The rest of this deck just unpacks that picture. So why does that loop matter? Because there are really two kinds of detective. Think of a standard AI as a detective locked in a windowless room. Ask it to solve a case, and it has to guess, based only on the old training manuals it read years ago. It can't go and check anything new. A ReAct agent, by contrast, is a detective actively working out in the field. Instead of guessing, it investigates, running that cycle of thinking and acting until the case is solved. That's the whole shift, from guessing out of memory to investigating in the real world. Let's name the 3 moves the detective repeats. First, thought. The agent analyzes the situation to figure out the next logical step. For the detective, this sounds like, I need to know who is in the warehouse at 9 p.m. Second, action. The agent interacts with an external tool or the environment. The detective's action is, check the security camera logs. Third, observation. The agent receives the result and adds it to its context. The detective observes, a red van pulled in at 8:55 p.m. And the key, each observation feeds straight into the next thought. The detective keeps looping until the case is solved. Let's run a real cycle. The case: who robbed the warehouse? Thought 1. The detective reasons, I need to know who is in the warehouse at 9 p.m. Action 1. He checks the security camera logs. Observation 1. The log shows a red van pulling in at 8:55 p.m. That's a new clue, but it doesn't name a culprit yet. The case isn't solved, so the detective loops back, carrying the red van into his next thought. The observation from cycle 1 becomes the thought for cycle 2. Thought 2. Now I need to find out who owns the red van. Action 2. Run the license plate in the database. Observation 2. The vehicle is registered to John Doe. Now the detective has a name, backed by a chain of real evidence, and that's enough to leave the loop. Case solved. The answer: John Doe, and notice how we got there. We tracked a red van at 8:55 p.m. to its registered owner, one clue at a time. Compare the two detectives. The locked room AI just names a plausible-sounding suspect from memory, and it might be completely wrong. The ReAct detective names a suspect backed by a trail of real evidence, one you can recheck, step by step. So why does the field detective win? For reasons. 1. It's grounded in real evidence. It acts on what it finds right now, not on stale training memory. 2. It's self-correcting. A surprising observation simply reshapes the next thought, with no restart needed. 3. It's auditable. Every thought, action, and observation is a step you can inspect to see exactly how it reached the answer. And 4. It handles brand new cases, give it new tools, and it can investigate things it was never trained on. That's the power of letting the model reason and act in a loop. ReAct is powerful, but it's only as good as the detective's choices. So before we wrap, a common pitfall: what if the detective checks the wrong camera? Here are 3 ways the loop breaks. First, the wrong tool. If he checks a camera that doesn't even cover the warehouse, the action runs, but the real clue never arrives, a tool selection error. The agent acted, but on the wrong thing. Second, the infinite loop. He keeps rechecking the same logs, going round and round, never deciding he's done. The agent loops forever without solving the case. Third, a reasoning slip. He misreads the clue, blue van becomes red van, then confidently chases the wrong lead. The loop runs perfectly on a wrong conclusion. Keeping the detective on track, guardrails, and the failure modes of ReAct is a whole investigation of its own. That's the next video. Here's the whole framework on a single card. ReAct equals thought, action, observation, looped until the case is solved. The agent reasons about the next step, takes it with a tool, reads the result, and repeats. Quick question for you. Which case would you point a detective agent at? Drop it in the comments, and if this made ReAct click, like and subscribe for more AI ideas explained with a good analogy.